we had the privilege of backpacking the Mulawai Trail in the Big Island of Hawaii. This is a 9-mile trip, so it's 18 miles round trip.
The coolest thing about the trail, I think, was the black sand beaches and the views of the Pacific Ocean. It was just spectacular. It kicked your butt, but you got to see some spectacular river valleys, ocean, beach, river cutting across the beach. It's just gorgeous, and you saw a lot of different microenvironments that you could climb from the bottom to the top.
You start by descending 900 feet to Waipe'o Beach. You've got a river crossing right off the bat, and then you start by ascending 1,200 feet in less than a mile. And then it's up and down, up and down, up and down for the next 7.5 to 8 miles.
I thought I was ready for the trip. I thought I had everything I needed, and I also thought the trail was going to be a lot easier than it was. The descriptions that I saw didn't make it out to be as difficult as it was, so it was a bit of a surprise.
So I have a friend that used to live in the Big Island of Hawaii, and I told her that we were going to the Mulawai Trail. She just said, "Oh, have fun. It's going to be fabulous. You're going to love it. It's so beautiful." But what she failed to tell me is that one of her coworkers, this man that she worked with, hiked this trail, slipped, fell off a cliff, banged himself up on the way down, landed in the ocean, and had to be rescued by boat. Now, we didn't see a single boat while we were there, so that was lucky, and spent several days in the hospital after that. I told her she might have mentioned that before we left. So I'm just hanging out at the trail and wondering if Lily's gonna make it another 8 miles. If she does, wow, I'm gonna be so impressed. I'm guessing that this was probably the most strenuous thing that she's done, possibly ever. It was pretty steep and it was hot. And the trail was narrow and there was plenty of rocks.
Dust in my throat, dry as a sigh. Miles of sun and no clouds to cry. A trail of whispers under my feet, dreaming of water where rivers meet. 9 miles of nothing but grit and stone. This backpack feels like a house I own. Oh, the trail it bends, it breaks, it sings through the hills where the ocean rings. No streams to quench, no rain to pour, but the river waits where it's waited before.
En realidad no sabía lo que iba. Me invitaron a 2 días de camping, pero no sabía lo que implicaba. No sabía que iba a tener que subir una montaña. No sabía el reto físico y mental que esto iba a representar para mí. En algún momento sentí que no lo iba a lograr. Sentí que prefería quedarme ahí que regresar. Hoy, días después, sigo sin creer que lo hice. Obviamente requerí mucho apoyo de mi equipo y de mi líder, Trent Farrier, para lograrlo. No lo sé, te cambia completamente la perspectiva de la vida. Saber que tuviste un reto tan grande y que lograste vencerlo. Y al final, aquí estoy.
Waipe'o's arms open wide and green, Waimanu's edge where the sand turns clean. The tiny creek laughs like it knows the way. Just a sip to keep the heat at bay. I carry the sun, it burns my back, but I see the end and I won't turn back. Oh, the trail it bends, it breaks, it sings through
The hike was a little bit more difficult than described. Not as hard as some of the ones that we've been on, but not easy either. After seeing what other people did, I think I'd take plan B. Instead of walking 18 miles, I get in the kayak and kayak over to spend the night on the beach. That seemed a whole lot easier, even though it was a 4-hour trek by kayak. As long as the ocean was calm, I think we could have made it without much, but probably with dry bags and kayaks. That's what I do next time.
Waipe'o, whoa, waipe'o, waipe'o, oh, oh, oh. Waipe'o whispers to the sky. Trail so steep I touch the high. Dust kicks up, no streams inside. Dry as a desert, but hearts feel light. 9 miles long, no turning back. Tiny creek in a world of crack. Thank the river, oh thank the sand. Waimanu waits, it's the promised land. Palms sway like they know the tune. Sun's a drummer, heat at noon. Backpacks heavy, dreams so clear. Every step's a story. Here we walk, we climb, we breathe, we try. Hawaiian winds keep spirits high. 9 miles long, no turning back. Tiny creek in a world of crack. Thank the river, oh thank the sand. Waimanu waits, it's the promised land.
So the road from the Outlook to the beach at Waipe'o is actually one of the steepest roads on the planet. This road has sections that are at a 45% grade. So most of the road is at 25%, which is still very steep, with even steeper sections where traction definitely becomes a problem. They now only allow 4-wheel drives and no tourists. You have to be a local to be allowed to drive this road now, let me tell you. Riding back on the back of a pickup truck on this very steep road where we could hear the traction taking place on the tires at sections trying to gain traction, and then feeling raindrops and thinking, we might be on this road when it's wet, and then remembering all the caution signs that I had just seen at the bottom. Does not make for sweet dreams or a very peaceful ride up. Let's just say that I did a lot of praying. One of the best things about this backpacking trip was having Lane and Lily with us. Lane is Trent's brother and Lily's his wife. Takes a special kind of person to leave the comfort of their hotel and pack backpacks and spend 3 days roughing it before laying by the beach and having a cush vacation. So that really made it extra special.
Ok, no sabía lo que implicaba tener que cargar con el peso de tu mochila y luchar con el peso de tus pensamientos.